So, big news in the space world today. The FAA has finally given SpaceX the green light to ramp up its Starship launches from their Texas site. This is a huge step forward for SpaceX, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a big deal, especially since SpaceX has been pushing for this approval for a while now. This move could really accelerate their plans, and Starship is a game changer for space exploration.
Right? Starship's potential is massive, not only for launching satellites or cargo, but it could be key for future missions to the Moon and Mars. What are your thoughts on how this might impact the timeline for those missions?
I think this gives them a lot more confidence in sticking to their ambitious timeline. If they can start launching Starship more frequently, they'll get valuable data faster, and that could shave years off their original plans. But it's still a massive undertaking, so I wouldn't be surprised if things get delayed along the way.
True, but considering SpaceX's track record with innovation, I'm not sure we should bet against them. Remember how quickly they perfected the Falcon 9? It feels like they could pull it off again, especially with this approval.
That's a good point. They have a knack for problem solving. And let's not forget the environmental challenges with Starship's launches. The FAA approval comes with some conditions, especially around ensuring they're not causing too much damage to the local environment.
Yeah, that's an interesting part of the approval. The FAA is requiring them to put measures in place to protect the environment around the launch site. It makes sense, considering the scale of Starship's engines. You've got to imagine the noise and the exhaust would be pretty intense.
Definitely. And considering Starship's design, it's designed to be reusable, right? So, the more launches they can pull off, the more they'll refine the system. If they get that reusability right, it could drastically cut costs for future space missions.
Exactly. And the fact that the FAA is okay with it signals a lot of trust in SpaceX's safety measures and systems. It's one thing to launch a rocket once in a while, but being able to launch regularly and safely, that's a whole different challenge.
For sure. It's one thing to talk about reusability, but it's another thing to execute it. I mean, reusing a rocket isn't just about launching it, but also safely landing it again for future use. That's where SpaceX has really shined with the Falcon 9. And if they can pull that off with Starship, it'll be a huge win for space travel.
Totally agree. It's about making space more accessible, right? The more they can reduce costs per launch, the easier it will be to send people to space, launch more satellites, and even begin preparing for those ambitious Mars missions. Do you think we'll see crewed Starship missions sooner than expected?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I think we might see crewed missions within the next few years, but I wouldn't be shocked if there are some delays. The testing for those kinds of missions has to be incredibly thorough, especially when you're sending humans into space. But SpaceX has always been bold with timelines.
Yeah, SpaceX's boldness is one of the things that sets them apart. They've managed to move faster than many people thought was possible. But I think with this approval, they're also setting themselves up to be more methodical. A faster pace of launches could mean more data, which leads to faster iteration, and the next big breakthrough could be right around the corner.
That's exactly it. The more they launch, the better they get at identifying problems before they become too big. And the iterative process is what's going to make Starship stand out. It's almost like SpaceX is playing a long game, but they're moving fast while doing it.
Right, and now that they've got this approval, I imagine we'll start seeing a lot more public interest in the Starship program. People want to see what this thing can do. Do you think Starship will revolutionize space travel, or is that still a few years off?
I think it has the potential to revolutionize space travel, especially if they can make it reliable and affordable. The idea of a fully reusable spacecraft is huge. It could bring space closer to regular people. But we're still in the early stages. The next few years will be crucial in proving whether Starship can live up to the hype.
That's fair. But even if it doesn't change everything overnight, it'll definitely push the space industry forward. It's like when the first iPhone came out. Did it change everything right away? No, but it set the stage for the future. Starship could be that catalyst for space tech.
I totally see the comparison. Once the groundwork is laid, that's when things start to snowball. People get inspired, new companies emerge, and technology advances at an even faster rate. I think Starship will be the catalyst for a lot of innovation in the space sector.
Exactly. And this FAA approval is just the beginning. It's exciting to think about how many new projects will spin out of it. In a way, SpaceX is creating a new ecosystem for space exploration, and we're just witnessing the first steps.
And the ripple effect is going to be massive. It's not just SpaceX's success. It's going to push other companies, governments, and even private ventures to think bigger, bolder, and more globally. The race for space is heating up, and the next few years are going to be incredible.
Absolutely. It's an exciting time to be watching the space industry. With more competition and more innovation, who knows what we'll be talking about a few years from now. Starship could be the start of something much bigger.
Exactly. It's like we're standing at the edge of a new era in space travel. SpaceX might have just opened the door a little wider for everyone. It'll be fascinating to see what happens next.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where this all goes. Thanks for breaking it down with me today.
Anytime. Let's see how quickly the next launch happens. Until then, we'll keep watching the stars.